And now, our feature presentation.
You are watching a master at work.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Combat Club, along with my co-host Zenith, because this is the episode number 17, and we're talking about boxing, mixed martial arts, wrestling, because this is like an incredible weekend for the good sports, because we just got boxing, mixed martial arts, wrestling, and of course we got like a great chance to watch at home at the bar and everything, because this is the Combat Club. This is the Combat Club because this is like a combat podcast. We're keen here to fight anyone, everywhere, anytime. So right now, let's give it like a round of applause for my co-host Science Center, because I know this weekend is very important for the mixed martial arts, boxing, and wrestling fans. So how you feel about it?
Man, I feel great, man. Thank you so much for having me on again. Another great episode of the Combat Club. We are on our 17th episode, like my co-host had just said. And we thank you guys for joining us on your Sunday morning, whatever you guys are doing. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. And the layout of the show today is, we hardly talk about boxing on this show, but a major boxing fight was last night. We both of us didn't watch it, unfortunately, but we will cover it for a little bit. From there, we're gonna go into. I know Rafael did it last week, where he kind of gave his thoughts after the aftermath of UFC 304. We're gonna give a little bit touch of that, a little bit more. Then we're gonna go into UFC Abu Dhabi. We're gonna preview UFC 308 that the court just dropped. Kind of a little rundown, kind of a little fast preview. Nothing too no deep dives, no really elaborate breakdowns. We'll get to that as the date gets closer. And then Rafael, a veteran of the WWE fan base here, even though I'm a casual, I don't watch it as much as him. He's gonna hold it down. I know him and his boy called the SummerSlam yesterday. I didn't get to watch it, but I know he's going to hold it down and he's going to give his raw thoughts on the aftermath of SummerSlam. But so excited to be here, Rafael, and let's get it.
Yep. And of course, first and foremost, we just got the boxing match, which is Terence Crawford versus Israel Madrov, because I just feel like between for that match, I mean, Terence Crawford couldn't feel it like this couldn't the rhyme, because how well Israel was doing that breaking it, because I'm really feeling invested on the body, because he could have like really got in the fight. But we just saw like Madrid was a dog with a performance with only 11 fights. I mean, his tongue went way up despite for the loss. I mean, it's pretty clear that Crawford wouldn't stand for the much for the chance to try and move it off to fight Canelo. I mean, Canelo would absolutely for an easy but I mean, how they really scored about for the 115, 113. I mean, Metro was very impressive. I mean, especially for the head movement. But have you ever seen like Israel Madriv's career? It's very fucking insane. All that moving around, stepping in and out around. He got never tired. I mean, he had the belly and effort. I mean, that was very noticeable stronger, because that was like the first thing that I just saw like out grapple on the clinch. I mean, that woman that handled it. And I want to see like a really rematch about how to really appreciate it. But it's gonna be like a walk us through is gonna hand it out for the weight. I mean, I thought before this could eat like punch easily, but I think this is gonna be like the same after the fight. But I would think that's gonna be very impressive at all. But I would just wanted to doubt for the judges how to decide for the winner. But he relies it all for the athleticism, leaning in and leaping out. This can be timing called slipping, but he has to be grown to be more patience than others a boxer. And he just wanted to be a unanimous decision to claim the title for the fourth. And I think this one, it's completely like not gonna be like an out of control. But that boxing match, I mean, that was very impressive. I mean, the cardio was really insane, but I thought it was gonna be like so realistic. But let's check them out for this one. All right, so there it is. There's Crawford in the building. So I know this is gonna be like so incredible right now, but this is gonna be like so intense. So I'm gonna let my co-host about for the details of Terence Crawford versus Motorball, which is last Saturday, which is on night.
Yeah, so to be honest, I'm not a big boxing fan, but when there is a big fight, I tend to try to tune in. I know our brothers over at Leather to the Face, big homie, the Big Lou. We got Reels in the house, we got Big Pat. I know they're big boxing fans over there, but To be honest, I do watch it when I can, but it has to be a major fight. And when I've seen Terrence go against this guy that is 10-0, he is pretty much he's a professional. Obviously, he's 10-0, but he's so amateur in his pro boxing career that I almost didn't have the need to tune in. Not to take anything away from Terrence Crawford. I think he is one of the best pound for pound boxers on the planet right now. But honestly, I kind of knew the outcome of this, and I had other things to do. I wish I could have sat in front of my TV and watched this fight. But as you can see, Terrence Crawford is now 41-0. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this guy has over 30 knockouts, if I'm not mistaken, and he's just piling up, man. He's just piling up against some top names in multiple divisions. Like Rafael just said, this is now his fourth title in his fourth division title. He's a magnitude of titles, but now this is him taking over what seems to be another rise in another weight class. And correct me if I'm wrong, Rafael, but as he gets closer to that Mayweather record of 50-0, I truly believe that he if anybody in boxing is the closest to beat it, because a lot of great fighters right now are still stuck with under 25 wins, so they have a long road to get to that 50-0 record. And if anybody's gonna chase down Mayweather, it is Terrence Crawford. I truly believe that he is, if not the pound for pound, a top three pound for pound best boxer alive on the planet, and he proved it yet again last night. Like I said, I didn't really watch the fight, guys, but honestly, when you're coming in and you get it, the guy is, well, he's 10-0, but you're such an amateur in the sport. Like, it's kind of like Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is a veteran master kickboxer, but he still has the amateur record in MMA. Great monster knocking out Jamal Hill, monster knocking out Yuri. When you look at his record, it's still an amateur record. When you have someone that is 10-0-1 fighting someone that's 40-0 and fighting someone that is truly one of the best boxers of our time, we all we knew the outcome of this fight. Hopefully, those who did order it had fun. Those who did watch it had fun watching. And I just kind of told Raphael, you know what? It's been a while since we started off the show talking about some boxing. And I figured we talk about some boxing for a bit. We just had Jake Paul and Mike Perry did their thing. I know Jake Paul, everybody looks at him like a sideshow. I honestly think that him calling out Alex is stupid, and I do respect Jake Paul in the sense of he's not fighting nobody. You know what I'm saying? When you go up in boxing, we have Terrence, not to take anything away from the coach Terrence, but when you go up in the boxing ranks, right, and then you fight no names, right? This guy's what, 11-50 fucking 8. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I'm saying? So at least Jake Paul is not out here fighting no names. He's out here fighting. He's not chopping his record to 18-0 and then fighting someone that's actually good. He stepped in the ring against a Fury. He competed against a Fury. Yes, he won that fight, but he lost that fight. I'm sorry. Fury won that fight, but at the end of the day, he had the heart to get into it, Fury, and he's doing his stuff. So I can't take anything away from Jake Paul. I did want to mention him real fast. So maybe when there's another Jake Paul, when we did Jake Paul Tyson, or maybe when we have a major boxing fight, we'll try to get my boxing covered for you guys. We apologize. We did name it the Combat Club for a reason, to talk about all combat sports. And as the Olympics wrap up, as it gets later on next week or something, maybe we'll cover some judo and some wrestling for you guys. Well, because I know they're coming up too with the judo and the taekwondo and the wrestling, Raphael. So that'll be probably good to watch and to cover as well. But I don't want to hold the mic so long. Thank you so much, Robert Pena. We see you in the chat. Thank you so much for joining the show this early Sunday morning. And
Hello to Robert Pena.
Let's get it.
And what you're talking about for like the judo and all the things of taekwondo, because you remind me, because when I was a karate do champion when I was a little kid, and I understand about for like the basic learning of the judo, the taekwondo, then I just became like something that I was like get involved with that sport, which is karate, taekwondo, because I know we're in the middle of the Summer Olympics, but I
Yes.
just have like a great opportunities to see all of them both the athletes represent for the different country, to give it like the passion, of course, the fight with a great level. And I know this is gonna be like so realistic because I know that I was like, because when I was a kid, I was training like at a lot to do like the karate, that I was doing like the chopsticks, and of course the punches and everything, because I just learned it and I still got it because I'm not that even that stupid, but I still learning for like a little bit, but I have like a lot of experience and I grew up and then boom, I just figured it out because I know that even though that I just came to realize, because there's so things that I had to learn and to adapt to anyone. So I'm very impressed that so many athletes at the Olympic Games, which is during the Summer Olympic Games, they represent for all, but also they leave with a lot of passion, but also the discipline, which is very important.
That's absolutely facts. And I guess why don't we just transition to, I know you previewed you gave your thoughts on it last week. I want to kind of just give my thoughts on the main event at 304 if you don't mind real fast, and
Yep.
we can go into
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Because I know what you're speaking about for the UFC
Mhm.
304, because that was in Manchester. And those fans in Manchester
Sure.
they became so crazy at midnight. But we just saw about for Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. I mean, that was like, this is about for the entertainment business. I mean, there's like a one thing because it's not like very difficult. But I mean, between for the main card, the main event, I mean, that was like super hyped up. But I was just like very, very incredible to see Bola Muhammad getting upset after beating Leon. I mean, I know it is something about for Thomas Pinal versus Curtis Blades, and I know that Thomas Pinal became
We'll
like,
definitely get into that too. That one too. Yes.
yep. But also the between for Bola Muhammad, I mean, that was like they're pretty far right now because I know that he was clearly with the crazy eye, because to be exact, but Bilal Muhammad, I mean, that was just like realistic. I mean, he just beat up between for Leon Edwards, and how became like a turning like a matchup nightmare, because I know that the debation is gonna be really stacked, but he made a fool to the favorite every fight in the past 3 years. But I'm very honest, like after the debation had to move on because there are so many fresh contenders. I mean, I feel like the people who didn't watch it about for the last fights, because he destroyed Sean Brady, Vicente Luque, Gilbert Burns, Stephen Thompson. I mean, Muhammad simply breaks people. But I really bet on the fights of the because that was just like a no brainer. Because people that refuse to believe that it's actually a really good fighter just don't like it him personally. I mean, to be fair, I mean, how much is gonna be? He's always being like the underdog. He's
I
on this
think
valley.
I love what you said. I think you're right on that, but I just think I don't like him too. I respect the fact that he's good. I
Mhm.
respect the fact that he goes out there and not only does he win the championship against a a guy like Edwards, that's a feat in itself to go out there and perform at your best. And I'm not gonna make any excuses for Edwards. He wasn't on his game. You know when Izzy lost the title and then everybody was like Izzy lucked off. Well, guess what, guys? That's the sport, okay? Sometimes you come in on your best day, sometimes you come in on your worst day. We can't use that as the excuse. I honestly think what really happened is when Edwards was taken down that one time and he got fucking hit on the top of his skull, that kind of fucked him up and that kind of dazed him for the rest of the fight. And he wasn't really there and he didn't understand how powerful. Not Moab, sorry. Moab's pressure is powerful too. But Hall, how powerful Muhammad's pressure is. One thing I do think that a lot of fans notice about Muhammad is he's fucking boring, but he's boring to watch. It's really boring. His fights are not exciting. We respect him. We respect the craft. We respect the his abilities, and for damn sure he is shown that. Oh yeah, he's definitely training with Khabib and the boys. But the difference with Khabib and the boys is we'll get into it. I mean, like you even seen the Umar last night. Like we're gonna get into it after this have and maybe it takes two to tangle and Corey was putting up a more of a fight than Edwards was but you see the excitement when Usman throws a punch, or when Usman even goes in for a takedown, or goes into that position where he wants to mount you and maul you. Like, you see the excitement with Muhammad, it's just fucking boring. And I think a lot of people don't like that, and that's why a lot of people want him to lose, or didn't want him to fight for the championships, because at the end of the day, it is entertainment, and you are skilled, you are a welterweight champion of the world, but at the end of the day, Dana White needs to sell tickets. And at the end of the day, I do respect him to the fact that he does go and he does give an interview, and he says, hey, I'm not going to duck nobody. I'm going to give who deserves the rightful title shot a chance. And that might have just lost him the damn title, because if he shoots like that, Shakawa will get him in the guillotine and his night's over. So I want to see that. I want to see Shakawa get to 5 rounds, because of the fact of the matter is, I mean, like, I'm a fanboy of Shakawa. Call me it what you want, but here's the thing, okay? This guy is undefeated, never went to a decision. All this guy needs to do is now just main event. Because if you main event, now he gets 5 rounds. So now he might never go to a decision. He gets 2 extra rounds. And this guy, yeah, people be like, well, look at his last fight. It was fucking boring. No. It's just that you don't understand how complex it is. Look at what he did. He had a game plan. He didn't defer from that game plan. Stephen Thompson wasn't doing anything to make him change that game plan or go to plan B, plan C. Guess what? At the end of the 3rd round, it finally executed, and guess what happened? He's the first one to tap out Stephen. I mean, like, when you have a game plan and you stick to that game plan, and that game plan works every fucking time, I mean, like, that's some great shit. And it's not like he was tested. It's not like he wasn't tested. So I'm getting too far ahead of myself. I want to talk about 304, end up talking about Shakawat. But that being said, that is great. Great. I'm clapping for Mahal. Thank you for that. I don't know if Edwards gets the chance to jump the line. He's not a Mighty Mouse. I mean, like, he's not Alex. He's like, he really only defended his title twice, and I don't like the people that he's not an Izzy. So I say 5 times, 4 times, 5 times or more, you get the immediately title shot. And to be honest,
exactly.
I don't like this immediate title shot bullshit. It's like it's about boxing rematch cards. It's like, let's not have that. I mean, like, if you are a champion for a reign and a significant amount of time, when Amanda lost the title, fuck yeah, give Amanda the rematch. What the fuck? She cleared out the division. You know what I'm saying? When you clear out your division, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
When you're like, you literally fight Kobe because he's Dana White privilege, and like, he just fucking talks himself into these main events because he puts people in seats. Like I said, it's all about selling tickets. Then I don't like that shit. It's like, how is Kobe in the front of the list? Kobe should not even be in a fucking. Didn't he lose like fucking 3 times in his last 5 fucking fights? And this guy literally is still in the top 5. Like, Kobe, what the fuck is going on here? But I do want to apologize to Tom Aspinall real fast. You know, I said, I don't want anybody to misunderstand what I said. Like, I was holding him just to make my point, and obviously I kind of dismissed his injury last time. And, you know, I just think, yeah, he just got beat, but he got injured. And look what happened. Look what happened to Curtis Blades this time around. It's almost like the Sean O'Malley versus Vera rematch. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't like the only reason why I was so hard on Aspinall is I get the greatness in him, guys, but I just don't like the recency bias in this sport against legends. Okay, if you wanna compare like someone like that's up and coming, like I just did, Shakawat to Muhammad, remember the name. I believe that's fair because Muhammad is growing. He is becoming a fan favorite eventually. He does have a big fan base, but he's not a legend. Okay, when you have these kids comparing Aspinall that he's gonna fucking wipe John Jones and John Jones doesn't have a chance, that's why I get mad. This is when a hardcore that's been watching the fight since fucking the Jen Pulver fucking days, since UFC was in fucking 2 digits and shit, UFC 55s and shit like that, to see the evolution of the game. And when someone comes and be like, oh yeah, Tom Aspinall would easily just one shoot John Jones, it just tells me the immatureness of your knowledge of the game, because John Jones cleared the division out, and then cleared the division out again, moved up, and just walk through Shogun. So all of a sudden, Tom Aspinall is just gonna walk through John Jones. Now, if you give me a clear game plan on why do you think that, and this and that, but all they come up with is, well, he walks through everybody. He's Tom Aspinall. John Jones never got fucking beat, bro. John Jones beat motherfuckers best in the world, not even training, bro. So that's why I get so mad, and that's where my hatred kind of came out of this and Tom Aspinall. And I take that back because I do think Tom Aspinall is exceptional. I do think Tom Aspinall is one of the best heavyweights in the world right now as we speak. Deservedly so, proved it yet again. But at the end of the day, the fight to make is the fight that he has. So just everybody just hold your horses. And when Arsenal comes out and he knocks out John Jones, shit, you guys get your flowers. But until then, yes, he's good. But let's just there's limits. We can't compare everybody to John Jones. We can't compare everybody to Mighty Mouse. We can't compare everybody to fucking GSP. We can't compare everybody to Khabib or Anderson Silva in his prime. Okay, there's levels to this shit, people. Once we get rid of the levels, it's just a bunch of bullshit. You know, the next minute, you know, we're gonna be comparing fucking Mike Perry to fucking Donald Cerrone to Tony Ferguson. And yeah, look, they all look around the same kind of fighters, but they're all separate in their own ways. You know what I'm saying? So before I just go on a major rant, and I just love the sport, and I'm gonna pass it back over to Rafael.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And when I just look at about for Milad Muhammad, I mean, it seems like he's like the quintessential quite achiever, and I'm very happy about it. I mean, he always stay healthy because he hasn't dug a single fight against anyone, calls out anyone who listen, fights above for the bell of his rank, and take like a short notice whether to give it. Because I remember when they just called George St. Pierre was called boring. From his fight with Albert all the way for the fight with Shields. I mean, I remember there are so many complaints, but I think he was like at the very stock even since the Wonderboy fight. Well, has made a massive improvements about for the cardio and speed because I was always, especially when I look at the drastic physical challenges. I mean, I think we are entering about the era that absolutely be in some form because he just rocked him badly. I mean, that could be like a very interesting, but I just really thought that the guy was like a game changer that no one see that coming.
Yeah, his speed is almost deceptive because you don't think he's that
Yeah,
fast, and then he hits you, and you're like, oh, he is that fast, and that's one thing that I think will put him over the limit. They say, right, when you become a champion, you get about 20% better. I want to see Mahal. I know that's not his fighting style. I know he's not going to put himself in that dangerous situations, but if he can somewhat get a little bit better at his striking because he has the speed for it. We're talking Usman because I think Umar is fucking beast, but you know it's almost like look what can become of you. Like obviously he's a champion, so I'm not gonna really, but you get what I'm saying. Like look at Nurmagomedov last fucking night, yesterday, and then look at what he's able to do. He's not only able to fucking strike, but he's trying to take you down. So it's almost like fuck, dude. How do you beat him? Corey Sandhagen had. We're gonna get into that. I don't want to fucking talk over you, but go ahead. But you get what I'm saying, right? If Mahal was just working on striking just a little bit more, I mean, like he'll be fucking dangerous, and he will be able to just depend on his striking and use his game plan. As I know that's not the kind of fighter he is, and don't change for his fan bases, but I think that's what will win the fans over. A lot of the times it's like, hey, let me just hug you on the fucking ground. Hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Let's have a fucking conversation when I'm just hugging you. Respect him. And I'm not trying to diss him, but I believe that is like 90% of why the fans don't like him because he doesn't give us anything exciting, at least with GSP. I mean, like GSP, his striking game was cerebral in the point. You know what I'm saying? So it was almost like, yeah, he wants to take you down, but fuck, he could jab the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, you got the right point. And speaking about for like the UFC 304, which is Manchester, so I know this is gonna be like a really interesting about for October 2024, which is gonna be in Abu Dhabi. So I know this is gonna be very interesting. So right now they just announced the main card for the UFC 308, which is in Abu Dhabi, and they got the main event, which is Ilya Tupuria versus Matt Holloway. I know this is gonna be very shocking at all because I just really love that Dana White is always cooking very fast, very incredible. But
He's
absolutely, they give like it a
amazing,
great
smooth on the
vibes
planet.
about it. And yes, we're gonna do like it some things like that. But I really understand because Tupuria versus Holloway. I mean, this is gonna be
Yeah,
like a
man.
matchup that
Yeah.
nobody wants to miss it. I mean, they have a great atmosphere because let's go for the air, like the shore, the crowd is very stunned. I mean, they could really have like a great fight because that would be interesting if Stupuri will able to use that power to deal like the orange in Holloway from striking on the Stearns. But I think if not, could lose the fight because he looks so good, it's almost hard to believe that mass volume pocket presence could be that answer. And most people they want to groove for Matt Holloway, but I think it's gonna be like really choose because if you want to see like an exciting matchup, they can put on Abu Dhabi. I mean, that means a lot because Ila Tupuria, it means like a great chance to see how the have the shivers just thinking about it, and they have to better be done because I know this is gonna be like the actual boxer versus the actual fighter because they not like Max who has deserved like the more strikes to the UFC history because well it comes to the like wall power shots like Justin Gage because that guy was like the best footwork combinations on the game, fast and powerful, but they couldn't make it out of the way he got trapped in the fence. But I would love to say this. This could be like a good scrap. I mean, people had to go for like during massive about for the main card for the 308, which is in Abu Dhabi, between for the main card, including Ila Tupuria versus Max Holloway for that championship. I mean, I would love to see that because I know the impact of both fighters that became like the spark of that year.
Absolutely. I love it. You know, honestly, I think this is the one of the best fucking chords of the year, bro. Like, I don't know, man. We have We have like 2 months before this. We have the Sphere that I believe this is a way superior chord than the Sphere. Um, Honestly, I think Ilya and Max are supposed to fight on the Sphere until the Canadian reporter leaked it, and you know how Dana White does it. You know, like, I'm not gonna let a motherfucking Canadian junior reporter beat me to no. So he moved the fight, and we all kind of knew that happened. Um, I just want to talk about the we're gonna talk about this more often as the event gets closer. But as you can see, guys, the fights that is on this card right now is just beautiful to watch, beautiful to see. You know, we have White here, right, in light heavyweight title shot contender, eliminator. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Nakalaev should be fighting for the title, but he's gonna put his number one spot on the line against Wojcik, so that's gonna be a great fight in itself. And then right underneath it, you know what I'm saying, with just some up and comers, some veterans that's up and coming, that's trying to enter into the top 15 or in the top 15, trying to defend their spot in the top 15, and you know, just good fighters. We have some veterans on the court, and honestly, this undercard is we've seen better. But what really gets me super excited is just the 4 fights we have confirmed at the moment. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. Hopefully nobody gets pulled out with injury. I mean, we have an up and comer, bro, and that is just that it could be the future. Could be the future of the sport in Leon Murphy, going against a young Hawaiian that his last fight took a shot at a 4 hour notice, right, against Diego. And Dan Ige wanted to fight on the Sphere, wanted to get someone on the Sphere. But honestly, Dan, I think this is a better opportunity for you, bro. You get to go out there and you get to like put of the first L on Leon Murphy's record, and this is the guy to go out here and actually give Leon Murphy a fight. I do truly believe, not trying to go against my Hawaiian here. I do believe that Murphy can escape this with the win. But like I said, as it gets closer, we'll talk about it. We have the return of Gon going against another killer in the heavyweight division. This is gonna be a fun fight. We'll talk about it. We have the fight that we all just can't wait for. The fight that even rivals the main event in itself with Robert the Reaper, man. Whitaker, absolutely a dog. One of the best middleweights in the world. Stop it. One of the best UFC fighters in the world. Absolutely a dog. Going against Chamaya, man. The guy that just doesn't give a fuck if he misses weight. The guy who just wants to go out there and maul and kill everybody, carrying motherfuckers across the octagon, talking to Dana White. Man, I love this guy, and I know he almost died, you know, in the past couple of years. I don't say that lightly. I mean, like he really got sick. He really had it bad, and that's why he's been absent a long time due to injuries and due to sickness from the octagon. But he has returned, and we have Robert to welcome him back. That literally, this right here has title informations on the line, because honestly, Sean is probably going to be next, or maybe Sean fights to win this fight. But I don't know. There's 5 people right now aiming for that championship, and these are 2. We have 2 fighting at 305. We have Sean Strickland, and then we have these 2. And I truly believe that it's gonna be a banger, bro. Like, I can't wait for this co-main event. One of the best co-main events of the year, bro. This should have been its own main event. And last time we went to Abu Dhabi, if a homie didn't get injured. But man, beautiful. I just can't wait. And then, you know, you have the young prodigy from fucking Spain that is just literally taking over the planet in the last 2 years, doing amazing things in the featherweight division, and absolutely a young stud, been training since he was 14, literally didn't go to school, just basically trained. He knew what he wanted to be, said fuck school, I'm gonna go train. Obviously it didn't go like that, but you get the point. Like, he literally dropped out to train, and it shows. He's now the fucking featherweight champion, knocking out a GOAT in itself. What's up, franchise? Thank you so much for being
salute
here.
franchise.
You know, knocking out a GOAT in itself in Alex. But honestly, I honestly think the reason why he was ducking this fight is because he's not scared. He's smart. Ilya's fucking smart, and Ilya wanted the time to prepare for a Max Holloway that's coming in extremely confident. A Max Holloway that's coming in extremely confident because he just knocked out Justin Gaethje and put himself on super status. You know, you're a story, and now you're a superstar. Max Holloway knocking out Justin Gaethje is now a superstar in the sport, and I honestly think Ilya is in for a tough fucking night, okay? Because I may be biased in this one, because you may see this Hawaiian flag behind me, but guess what? Sometimes in Ryan, all you do is fucking fight, okay? So Max grew up fucking fighting, okay? Max grew up street fighting, okay? So this whole I was fighting since 15, yeah, Max was fighting since he was 12, okay? So when it comes to boxing, I honestly think Ilya has the better combinations, but I think Max is gonna be smarter and faster. I think when Max hits you, yeah, it doesn't hurt as much, but Max will land the longer combinations. I think Max's pressure is something that Ilya has never seen in his MMA career yet. I've seen Ilya dropped. I've seen Ilya hurt. I've seen Ilya in panic against lesser competition. Okay? Ilya knocked out a guy in Alex coming off of a knockout.
Yep.
Let that sit in. So I want Rafael to talk too, but I honestly think that Max is aimed. It's the triangle here, guys. It's the triangle. And what I mean by the triangle, and I'm gonna let Rafael explain this. The MMA triangle is this guy beats that guy, and you think, oh, this guy beats that guy, so no way that guy will beat that guy. But no, that guy beats that guy. And you know, it's the MMA triangle. It happens all the fucking time. That guy. It happens all the fucking time. So let me give you an example of the MMA triangle. Oh wait, I just had it in mind, but I lost it. But basically, what will happen is Alex beat Max. So people will be like, no way Max will beat Ilya because Ilya beat Alex and Alex beat Max. No, Max will beat Ilya, and that's what makes the MMA triangle. It happens all the fucking time. And I want to come into this with my elaboration. So I am gonna do my diligence, and I'm gonna make a long breakdown on why Max Holloway beats Ilya Topuria. And people be like, I'm gonna just say this before I pass it up. I wouldn't be surprised if Max Holloway even converts to his wrestling, because a lot of people don't think that Max Holloway has wrestling, has BJJ. I mean, like, the only motherfucker that ever basically was getting Max like, oh shit, maybe I should take this motherfucking down, and that's why I give this guy so much credit, is Rodriguez. Okay, because when Rodriguez is like right up with you like that, he'll fucking throw a high kick. You know, that motherfucker is a G at striking, and I do think Max Holloway is the better striker. But there's moments in that fight where you see Max Holloway don't want to play that game no more, and then they go to the ground, and Max Holloway initiated that. So I do think that a lot of people don't don't consider that Max Holloway can wrestle. They just think Max Holloway is just a boxer. But it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of skill to hone the type of moves that Max Holloway can throw at you. And I'm gonna end it with this. I know a lot of people was like, "Whoa, that was lucky that Justin ducked into that head kick and that cost him basically the fight because the whole of the 4 rounds basically he couldn't breathe." Yeah, but you know how hard it is to throw that kick while moving back? Like that takes a lot of practice. A lot of your best MMA fighters are still trying to work on that. Like we just had a homie, Sean. I should know his name. I'm slipping my mind. He's such a veteran in the game. But Sean O'Malley's coach just said, "Hey, I'm trying to teach that to Sean right now." Sean is trying to master that move. You know what I'm saying? So I think Ilya is gonna see shit that he never seen in the octagon before. And Max is coming in off of a knockout at lightweight. So he's extremely confident, and not only that, he knew what was on the line when he was going to go against Justin Gaethje, and now he also knows on the line what's against Ilya. Because if he beats Ilya, I don't think he stays around when you have the lightweight champion inviting you, when you have Islam inviting you, when you have a champion inviting you, you handle your fucking business and you go out there and you go chase greatness because he was robbed the last time against Khabib. He was really robbed. His body didn't let that happen. So you go chase greatness. I want to see it, bro. I want to see it. Put that shit on your resume. Ilya, and then you go against Islam. Fuck. Islam's a whole other beast. Let's not talk about Islam against Max. I don't want to talk about that. Let's just talk about Ilya versus Max right now. Islam scares me.
I mean, that will be like a very interesting test because I know he has like an absolutely cardio machine. And really that I just wanted to think about he takes like the goes for the round 3 or 5 rounds. That's a big because if we want to see like the Ilya Topuria ground game, I mean, thought I would see the strength to stand up and not usually like wrestling, but I just hope that we get like a better headliner. I mean, people are
I just want to know what's
really
the path to victory for people that's really like Ilya's gonna run through Max. Like you're really seeing that. It's like, what is Ilya's path to victory? Does he knock Max out? Because if he's chasing a knockout, if he's chasing, I'm gonna be the first one to knock Max out. You're gonna get. It's not gonna be a fun night for you. Max is not gonna be there, and Max honestly is just as fast as Alex. Continue.
Yep. I mean, exactly. And I supposedly had to go because I mean, people they just wanted to see it about it. I mean, he's legitimately not very concerned, but I know there's gonna be most fighters are gonna be pretty hype because I'm gonna put it on the size and they have to go back to that to featherweight. I mean, I would just like very incredible because he said like a lot of future going into the after the city about it because they were just like don't be had their berries as dangerous because I know they just fought like the younger on this prime, but I know that Ilya on that point because I know he was like at a father 35 years old was coming off with a brutal knockout and just before it looks like making it like at a quick turnaround, but I know because of like the fighter beat like another because that doesn't mean like, because he also has a bad matchup. It makes mistakes early, but improves it as the fight's going on. Because if they have a knockout, I mean, if it goes to like an iron chin, they take bombs. I mean, like it's like most notable fights, it probably goes for the prime right now. But it seems like he's just moving up for that level. I mean, they just want a very unique, very impressed. But I don't think it's gonna be like a DC fight because I will be like very impressive because that's about the confidence. I mean, he was just making like a life of the amateur for years, even though they had some very good moments that he even could wrestle the stock, but also he just much building it up. But he was like the very dominant. But
I'm sorry, I remembered my triangle. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Justin Poirier beats Max. Max beats Gaethje. Gaethje beats Poirier. MMA triangle. Sorry about that.
Yep. And I know because I know this is gonna be like very realistic because I know that because like the mister like to the point because if he had the fight to the back easily at the cost of the victory, which is I'm very sure they could have done, because I know there's gonna be like risking it all. But I know that has a very good shot at the beating Mats at 145. But you can't be like saying to your opponents that like easy pre-fight because what it do is like when Mats do Mats things, I mean, this is gonna be like a really classic. But also But also, I know with see like they were just throwing out without strategy. I mean, I'm very confident because it's not gonna be like really easy about it. But being like very surprised, that doesn't mean like intimidated. But I was very impressed that he was right or not. But I'm not gonna say it's gonna be very impressed about for them because I know it's not that very respectful of the tone for the last chance, but it gives like a lot of flashbacks. But it basically like a tradition with this coach started out as a hated guy who's been like the long time below champion, but also then everybody loves it at the couple defense. But I love how to go rise it up with David. I mean, it will look maybe easily, and most people do just miss it. They're like have a little chance, but this gonna be like the most interesting at this moment. The coach helps it out. He helps it out.
I don't know, man. I agree on you, and I just want to say this too fast. And I don't know what I meant to say. I don't know not what you said, but I don't know about these diva champions nowadays, right? It's like all these divas. They think they're the shits. They win the championship, and then they just want to fucking hold on to it like a fucking teddy bear and not let anybody fight for it. It's so stupid, bro. It's like back in the day, bro. If you won the championship, bro, you're defending it multiple times a fucking year. No questions asked, okay? Max Holloway was on a 12-fight win streak to even get to the champion. Ilya, you think your fucking amazing run to the championship was fucking special? Max Holloway was on a 12-fight win streak, bro, until he finally got to the fucking championship. Not only did he get to the championship, but he fought back to back to back to back. Like fucking almost 3 times in one calendar year. You know, all these new champions, they fucking win the championship out, and they either want to bounce to the next division or they want to fucking hug it and go on the world fucking press tour. It's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at Edwards. I'm not trying to diss him. Edwards
Yep.
won the championship and hasn't fought forever. Obviously, he had the rematch against Kobe, but ever since that Kobe, it's like, bro, that's what I loved about Izzy, and that's why Izzy was such an exciting champion, you know, because he fought so fucking much, man. That's why Alex is the face of MMA right now, because he's contending, he's out there fighting. I hate motherfuckers that just want to hold on to it and cherish it and look at it. And I'm like, nah, motherfuckers, go out there and go get it. You got it. Go out there and go beat Mighty Mouse's records. Go out there and go beat Anderson Silva and GSP's records. Go out there and go beat Ronda's and John Jones and Amanda Nunes' records. You
I
know?
mean, that's real fact. Yep.
Fucking Ilya wins the championship. He wins the fucking, he's like fucking cherishing. And that's why I know he's not ready for Max. That's why I know. He's looking at his 7 losses like, oh yeah, but look at those 7 losses. 2 against Dustin Poirier, one of the best combat artists on the fucking planet, bro. Almost was your lightweight champion in Destin. Conor McGregor. Dennis, look, and that's early on in his career too. Alex Volkanovski. You know what I'm saying? Fucking GOAT, one of the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? And then Destin Bermudez. You know, so it's not like he's out here losing against scrubs. So people look at these veterans of the sport and be like, oh, we're gonna run through them. Look at Robert Whittaker. Look at Chimaev. Same fucking thing. Chimaev's looking at Robert Whittaker like he's gonna eat him for lunch. Fuck no. This is Robert Whittaker we're talking about. This is Max Holloway we're talking about. And that's what I'm talking about. I love all these new fighters because it's like, now, motherfuckers, there's levels to this shit. Yeah, you climb up the ladder, and get it on any given Sunday, right? Any given Sunday, a shitty team like maybe like the New York Giants could beat Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs. It could happen any given Sunday, right? Any given Sunday, right? But now let's run 10 Sundays. The Giants lose probably probably 2-8. We'll give us 2 wins, right? 2-8. Okay, now let's go Alex versus Ilya. Any given Sunday. Now let's run that shit 10 times. That could be 5-5. You know what I'm saying? So it's there's levels to this shit, and it's basically all I'm saying. And I think like a MMA triangle again. Pereira beats Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland beats Izzy, but Izzy gets the win on Pereira. You know what I'm saying? Like the last time they fought. I'm not talking about the ones before that, but it's just triangle math. And I honestly think that, like I said again, Max is gonna show Ilya a lot of shit that he didn't see, and there's levels to this shit really, and that's why I'm so high on Shakurat. It's because like, yo, if you're that good, you should be wiping them. What is Shakurat doing? 18-0, never been in a decision, wiping them. That's what I'm talking about, you know? Ilya has decisions. Levels to this shit. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sounding like a fucking hater, but yeah, he looks great. He looks great, guys. He looks great. Let's see him do that against Max. You do that against Max Holloway, you have fucking my respect. You knock out Max Holloway, you have my fucking respect, okay? But look, I can't look how hard it is to give Tom Aspinall all my respect. Look how hard it is to give fucking Alex the pound for pound. You know, I'm sorry, I'm an old head. I'm still riding with John Joneses of the world and shit like that. I still look at your resume speaks volumes. And if Max Holloway and Illy was to bring their resume to maybe a job interview, Max Holloway would get the job, plain and simple. They'll look at Ilya and be like, sorry, you don't have that much experience, but I've never been defeated. But let's add up everybody you fought, and let's add up everybody Max Holloway fought. Yeah, there's fucking big size difference there. And
Yep.
I just knocked out the fucking champion. Yeah, but guess what? The champion was just coming off of a knockout. So I look at brain shit real in the MMA. Brain shit is real. Your brain needs time to fucking recover, guys. Okay, it's different. You can't just get knocked out and then fucking magically 2-3 months later get back in a training camp and be like, yeah, no, dude, let's give it. There's a reason why there's suspensions in the game. Let's give it at least 6 to 8 to a year out. You know, I'm just saying. Some people's born with chins. Max Holloway is born with a chin too. So let's see it, Ilya. Let's see it because Max Holloway got hit by Justin Gaethje. Okay, come on, Ilya.
Yep. And we're talking about it at this one because I just basically because especially
Big Fridge, I love it. Appreciate you stopping by, Big Fridge.
Big Fridge in the building. Okay, so
let's get it.
I know this is gonna be like a lot of very interesting, but I know after like the recent pressure about for the performance, I mean those MMA fighters who like the display for the like best applications that happen to see like the fundamentals, the defensive awareness, mechanics, also the cage awareness. It reminds like of the boxer when he steps after there. Because I was very surprised that he learned he doesn't have the background. Because I was wondering what season of the boxer thinking about it. I mean, there has their wonderful combinations, devastating body punches, but I would love to see like who utilize the boxing because that's one of the most important things that of an exciting player. But I know that because there are so many fans, there are so many persons who practicing on Muay Thai boxing and what they're striking is generally great. I mean, their stance is very different when they got used to making a lot of the simple mistakes in footwork and defense because they know about from Muay Thai and mixed martial arts are different, but there are the fundamentals are very different sport to sport. If there is like a really enough of the difference because it's definitely hard to watch it as a boxer without seeming thought because I do like it agree for the boxing looks incredible as in the standards because I'm being like at some sparing footage that was available for a long leg with the combinations because a real body snatcher with a great cross. I mean, it seems like I had the power, obviously, but because the opponents, but the punches because he's very distant, rely for this power or run for the cut distance. But I would love to see like how that youngest players that we see like at a lot of different in common. Because if we want to see like at a lot of experimental, that we see like at a lot of boxing, wrestling, grappling, striking, I don't know for taekwondo, judo. I mean, it all depends for all of it is difference right now because it seems that had to go for like a lot of difference, had to go for the MMA fighters to improve off of a lot of discipline. But also the improvement because I know they're gonna be like a lot of contender because I know he really moves like in a much of the boxer, but I just see like the more dangerous that I had movie that he has like because how even the guys that didn't know about the boxing, they really look at it like boxing. I mean, it doesn't make sense at all because some point they have the bar power, but the chin gets really hit because he walked through everything. But I get a like a depression about the early fights. But I had to go for entertain the idea competitive for the boxing ring, about for the MMA fights. But I know there's gonna be like really excited because I know there's like a traditional, but that how little man is both crazy even off of the grappling, which is nuts because this is like the background that he used to it in the combat sports.
Yeah, you know what? You absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And I know I'm sorry for spending too much time on this, but let me just like pull up some MMA knowledge for you guys real
Yep.
fast. Not for you guys, but for just in basic theory. Let's pull up that screen, right? So we
All
pull
right.
up that screen, right? And this is Ilia's record, right? You look at that. Look at the people he's fighting. Of course, the nobodies. You know, he's coming up against some people early on in his career, and everybody goes through that. Now he may fight Mika, he may fight Brandon, 7-1, 8-1. When we go back, let's look how Mika did in 8-2. Not really fighting no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened there, but not really fighting no more. So we can't really judge that. Maybe we click on Brian's name. He's 11-4. So maybe that now when he moved up in rankings and when you get to the next level of competition, it gets much harder. So you take losses. Okay. So he finally makes it into the UFC, right? Against Damian Jackson. Nice win, nice punches. We all seen that. Against Ryan Hall, everybody was avoiding Ryan Hall. Nobody wants to fight Ryan Hall. He was able to get rid of Ryan Hall. It's not like Ryan Hall is this big, amazing fighter that nobody wants to fight. It's just Ryan Hall is so elite at the ground game that it's like if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna lose. So that's why people was avoiding Ryan Hall because Ryan Hall was an extreme specialist. So he obviously Ilya was smart enough using his MMA to get rid of Ryan Hall. Jai Herbert, which he almost fucking lost, basically when he got hurt, basically came back, showed his fighting young Matador spirit, and basically disposed of Jai Herbert. Bryce Mitchell, absolutely beautiful win, a young up and coming in itself with Bryce Mitchell. Obviously, we don't know what happened, just got knocked out against Emmett, knocked him out. But Bryce Mitchell at the time, 15-0, proven up and comer, big ass prospect. Ilya did him good. Absolutely nice win for Ilya. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to hate on Ilya. I'm trying to give him respect also. Josh Emmett and Volkanovski. So you can say right here, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's an up and comer. And that's a specialist. And so basically you can see 1, 2, 3. You can say 3. He has 3 top 10 competitors. What did he do with that 3 top 10 competitors? Basically walked to Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett had some moments, but now basically walked to Josh Emmett. Basically, triangle with Bryce Mitchell. Basically, won. We all know how I feel of Alex coming off of that knockout, but he goes and he catches Alex. Absolutely love it. Okay, so that is great. That is great. Now I want you to show this. This is not Max Holloway. This is another contender.
All right. So there goes for
now. This is another contender, right? He goes. Let's not talk about that loss because that's before the UFC. Now let's get into the UFC and let's look at who he fought. Okay.
All right.
Mikwan Okani. Now this is decisions. You know, Mikwan Okani, top 15 at the time, probably younger, but not a Ryan Hall, but a somewhat ground specialist in itself. Obviously, not fighting no more. We don't really count that. Maybe a Gilbert veteran. We got super veteran. We got not really high level competitions, but we do have Sikov, one amazing fucking striker, high level striker. We do have Dan Hooker, a fucking baller. We do have Nick. We do have Kelvin. So maybe we stack maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go on it again. I'm sorry, I'm losing track. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're on a 10-fight fucking win streak in the UFC, and then you get to have the high-level competition, and Max Holloway fucking demolishes you. Nothing against Arnold Allen because he comes back against Giga. He just did his thing at UFC 304. Shout out to Allen. But you have Mozov, another undefeated foe in himself, and then you have a veteran Max Holloway. So when you go from this level of competition to immediately this level of competition, shit fucking changes. He's on this level of competition. Max Holloway's on this level of competition. So that's what that's what I'm saying. I need Ilya to prove that to me. We can look at other people and see the same thing of young up and comers getting served against veterans. Destin Poirier just did it to earn himself a title shot. So it's almost like Ilya, respect you, bro, respect your record. But we have young Arnold. What was everybody saying at the time? Arnold's a motherfucking boxer. He gonna walk through Max Holloway. He gonna box the fuck out of Max Holloway. He on a 10-fight win streak. What the fuck happened? Max Holloway made that kid look like a fucking amateur. Okay, there's levels to this fucking shit. Justin fucking Gaethje, guys, and that's why I really want people to understand what I'm saying, and I'm not trying to force my opinion on anybody, but when you're able to land one of your weapons on Justin Gaethje, compromise him, and then control the whole fight. Who controls all 5 rounds against Justin, Rafael? Who does that? When you lose your title, exactly, nobody. When you lose your title,
Nobody.
and you have to work your way back to your title and you lose it, and then you have to work your way back to again and you lose it. Yo, this guy's not gonna let the opportunity pass him by, bro. He's too hungry. He wants his fucking championship back. Give Max Holloway his featherweight championship back. Because you know what we're gonna get? We're gonna get young. No, not young. I'm sorry. We're gonna get more exciting fucking shows. We're gonna get an active fucking champion that fights like 2 to 3 times a year, and we're not gonna get a young stud that fights once a year and then goes parades his championship. That's exactly what you're gonna get. Hold
I mean,
up, maybe. I'm sorry. I'm a hater, but we're taking too much time on this. I'm gonna let you say what you need to say, and then off to SummerSlam because we can always cover the
oh
Uzma if you
yes,
want to cover Uzma too. But I'll let you go. I know you wanted to get in on some SummerSlam too, so
oh
the mic
yes,
is yours, my man.
yes, indeed. Because right now it is the
Moist wallet.
opportunity to talk about for SummerSlam. Because I know this year SummerSlam it was tremendously right, tremendously incredible. Because not only they just broke like an attendance record, but also what I just saw for the storylines of the SummerSlam that was completely blew out of my mind. Because not only we just saw like 4 title changes, because we just see like at 7 amazing fights, because we just see like at a 4 insane title championship. Because at first we just see like Liv Morgan retain for the title against Rhea Ripley for the women's world championship, but also we just saw Braun Breaker loosening up for the brand new era as a new intercontinental champion against Sami Zayn. But also we just saw Gunter as a new world heavyweight champion, because the ring general is getting all this prime and I would love to use it. But also we just see like a lot of greatness, but also we just see LA Knight beating off Logan Paul for the United States Championship. And LA Knight he became the champion.
Oh,
He
Logan lost his championship.
Yep.
Good on LA Knight. Let's go LA Knight. Let's
Yep,
get.
that was a great night, because we just see like a 4 title changes, but also we just see like a spoiler alert that no one see that coming. Because during for the last event, the main event, which is Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, which is a bloodline matches. Who else who had a bigger return? Because after we just saw for WrestleMania, after he just lost for the undisputed WWE Championship, he comes out of the nowhere. Boom! There it comes. The original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. He just came back not only to save Cody Rhodes, but also he has a pretty much an account for like pending business against Solo Sikoa, who be like, who has to be like the tribal chief on this motherfucker? But I will say this about this. Between
Wait,
for
so wait.
SummerSlam,
He ran out and he helped Cody.
yep.
Whoa. Okay. Pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
we just talked about a lot of things, but I just see like a lot of title changes right now. But I think that year for SummerSlam that was very impressive. Not only for 4 title changes, but it just saw like a lot of storylines improve about that. Because if we just saw about for like CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, and I know that he goes on and on and on and on, but after that, I was doing like a watch party of the SummerSlam on my YouTube channel. That was like a ball levels about for that one. I mean, and about for the spoiler alerts, because no one see that coming about for the return to Roman Reigns, because it became like trending topic. And after what you see about it, I was like completely like out of control. Franchise say Allah Triple H shows about the right shit. Hey, probably a good about that, probably. But I would love to see like a between of Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns, who gets in charge for the tribal chief management. But that was it, because I know the SummerSlam was absolutely incredible, but also they just got like a special guest between Jelly Roll, Machine Gun Kelly. But that
Wait, I'm
event
gonna go
was
back and watch
out
the
of
replay now.
control.
I'm excited now. I'm gonna go watch the replay. Like I said, I'm a casual WWE fan, guys. That come around to like WrestleMania season. Call me lame. I know SummerSlam is a huge pay per view. But yeah, I have to go check it out. And I know we're in this Triple H era nowadays, and that's one thing that kind of stood me away. Some of my favorite wrestlers were no longer wrestling, and we got into a phase where it was just really PG. And I'm glad to see that the writing and the direction of the show has gotten to a place where it is more entertaining than it was in the last 10 years. So maybe I should definitely go have a chance to go back and watch it. I'll let you continue on it, and then I do wanted to end the show. I guess recapping a little bit last night. We don't have to do too long on it, but of course, yesterday, the fights in Abu Dhabi with Sanhagen and what I truly believe is the only one of the only biggest threats to Sean O'Malley's championship in Uzma.
Yep, absolutely. Because I know this weekend is gonna be really intense for everything. Because during for that weekend, we just see a lot of great things in boxing, wrestling, mixed martial arts, and I hope the next weekend is gonna be really important because not only is about for the UFC fights, also for like wrestling events, but also with the boxing matches. But I really understand because we're just really a passionate and we just came like very involved to get like really good knowledge about for what's happening for the wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and everything. So we're just part of the club right now. And thank you very much for having us at episode number 17 because we just recapped all these things about for the last weekend. And I gotta tell you for this one, this is gonna be really huge for me because after that, I just saw for like the last views of my last SummerSlam watch party reactions. So I just wanted to tell you, thank you very much to join us, and I just wanted to tell it about it. It's not over yet because we keep continue to bring like the best of the best at MMA, also boxing and wrestling. And I just wanted to tell it about for the next week because next week it's gonna be my birthday, number 31. So I'm very glad to have.
Let's get it.
So yes, so I just wanted to tell it about it. Thank you very much for joining us for episode number 17. Make sure to subscribe to Science Zenith on his YouTube channel. Also hit the like button, read the notifications, and of course, make to subscribe to Capitán Rafucho on his YouTube channel. Also ring the like button, ring the bell for notifications because we have like a videos, reactions, live streams, everything about it. So this is like the episode number 17 of the Combat Club, which is where we bring the best of boxing, mixed martial arts, wrestling. Thank you very much. Have a great Sunday, everybody. So
Appreciate you guys stopping by. Appreciate you hanging with us early this morning on a Sunday. Later, if you guys are on the East Coast. Earlier, if you guys are watching from Hawaii. Let's get it.
yep. Also have a good one, guys, and we're out of here.